Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And our sponsors at Alpha Claims and Hire Birmingham, the leading and best accident management company. Get a replacement car anywhere in 1 hour. I really appreciate you joining me today. And this story comes from Brighton in the south of England. And primarily this video is about paying respects and tributes to a young girl, an innocent young child that has lost her life due to no fault of her own. That is all that we are certain of at this stage, as the court case is still ongoing, so we will be very cautious with what we discuss in this video. Asiah was 20 months old, and her mother, Verphy Kudi, 18 years old, has appeared in court on the 19th of October this year, charged with manslaughter of the 20-month-old child that the prosecution claim was left in a flat for 6 days. This happened in December in 2019. In Brighton, in East Sussex. The prosecution in court, Jeremy King, said the CCTV showed her leaving a flat in Islingword Road, Brighton, on the 5th of December 2019. That was her 18th birthday, and she didn't return until the 11th of December. He said that Asiah died while she was away. The baby was rushed to Royal Alexandra Hospital in Brighton, but was tragically pronounced dead on arrival. A post-mortem and subsequent further forensic tests found baby Asiah died from neglect. Verphy appeared on video link wrapping herself in a grey blanket and crying as the charges were read out, and no plea was entered today. She was remanded in custody until the 16th of November, where she would appear in Lewes Crown Court. No application for bail has been made. A statement from Sussex Police said a mother has been charged with causing the death of her daughter in Brighton. Verphy Kudi, 18, of no fixed address, is in custody and will appear at Brighton Magistrates, and that was on the 19th of October, charged with the manslaughter of her daughter. So that is what the papers and the police have said about this story, and I've found some more stuff out since learning about it. Firstly, I don't believe she was arrested immediately. It's a year later, and she's only just appeared in court now. She has been free up until potentially recently. The reason I say this is because in my research, which isn't in the papers, I discovered she had recently applied to become a model for Pretty Little Thing, a clothing-based website. This was on October the 16th, and she appeared in court on October the 19th. So it seems that she was just living her life very normally, and she looked very happy. There's no mention of her daughter, there's no biopics, there's no pictures that we can see on her social media. This would imply that potentially she was arrested from the data that was last seen on her Twitter account, which is The London Diaries, that was at 3 o'clock on October the 16th. And 3 days later, she appeared in court. So the first question has to be, why wasn't she charged earlier on in December or January of this year? Of course, if her daughter was in her care and she'd passed away, then automatically I'd assume that that would be the first port of call, would be the parent. But it seems that she wasn't, and if she had been arrested, she wasn't in custody. And that was the first thing that I'd found out and also realised. After finding out that she wanted to be a model and she wanted to be an influencer of some sort, I found that she had a YouTube channel. And on May the 19th, 2020, several months after her daughter had died, she had launched a YouTube channel where she would discuss relationship issues, and she talked about a disaster date that she had. In this video, she appears completely calm, and there's no mention of the fact that she'd lost her daughter. And she appears completely happy. That is the only way to describe it.
Well, he was not my boyfriend. Let me take that back. He is what he is. And let me just make a disclaimer. There's no issue with guys wearing makeup. Big up you MUA boys. Like, some of you guys can do your makeup better than some of us girls. But it was the fact that, like, he tried to lie about it and then tried to fight me because I confronted him about it. But anyways, we'll just get into the story. It was like maybe...
So on May the 19th, 2020, she was making aspirations to be a YouTube star. So she obviously must not have thought that in October the 19th, 2020 should be appearing in court charged with the manslaughter of her daughter. So that can only make me believe that she believed that she wasn't under any sort of charge. There was no criminal case against her because, of course, if that was an ongoing case, why would she be trying to launch a YouTube? And another thing that has came out that is disturbing also is one of her relatives has came out and spoken about the paper's reaction to the story and also things that have not been mentioned in the paper. A woman who claims to be her sister has done a video that she posted online that says that her sister lived in a mother and baby unit, and that would be the opposite of what the paper said, that she lived in a flat. So anyone not familiar with a mother and baby unit, this is a temporary accommodation that women that are usually either in trouble or have no home would go to waiting for a flat or to bid on the housing. And this would only contain women and children, and would have staff there, and there'd be some sort of security, etc, etc. Her sister is saying online that her sister was in a mother and baby unit. There would have been other people in this building or unit. She could potentially have had a self-contained flat in that unit, but it would have been on a floor with several other mothers and babies. So how on earth, if that is the case, nobody heard this baby during them days? That is definitely something that I'm sure they'll have to find out.
Okay, cool. So that headline is an allegation, and I'm not here to defend my sister, but she hasn't been found guilty, do you understand? And if she done that, she will do the time, and she will get the punishment for that, do you understand? Nobody in my family knew about that headline. Remember, my sister's 18, so if any investigation or anything's going on behind the scenes, no one in our family has to be informed. Do you get that? Because she's of age to the government. Like, whatever happens between her and them, no one in my family was informed. No one knew anything that was going on behind the scenes. Like, no one knew there was an investigation going on. Yeah. Up till now, nobody knows the full story on how my niece passed away. We was told she passed away a different way. We was told her cause of death was something different. No one knows. No one knows how she actually passed away. But obviously, all will be revealed, innit? I pray my God reveals all. I pray it all comes out in court and my niece gets the justice she deserves. Do you understand? Another thing I'd like to say is my sister had the support system she needed, yeah? My whole family was there for her. All of us was there for her, yeah? My mum especially done everything she could to help that child, yeah? Like, to help my sister, yeah? From even before she had my niece. My sister evidently was troubled, and that's where I will touch upon the video that is recirculating, that people are putting back out there. That video I done because my sister was 14, yeah? She was running away from home. My mum's crying, calling the police, reporting her missing. Imagine your 14-year-old child goes missing for a whole week. You don't know where they are. They come back and then they disappear again for 2 weeks. Like, this was going on for at least 1.5 years. Do you understand? We done everything we could to try help my sister, to find out why she kept running away from home. We done family counselling. My mum set her up for her own counselling. Nobody knew. She didn't want to tell anybody what it was that was making her do that. Up till now, nobody knows why she was troubled. Do you understand? We done everything we could as a family to try and support her. Yeah. No one can't question that. Because everyone that knows our family, everyone that's around us knows, yeah? I done that video because I'd had enough of seeing my mum cry. Her child's going missing. My younger sister is out here. No one knows what she's doing. She could be with big men. Nobody knows. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd had enough. I'd actually had enough. Yeah, obviously that video was taken 5 years ago. Something like that. Yeah, like 5 years ago. I was young myself. I done what I thought was right at the time. Obviously, being an adult now and being older, I know that I could have handled that situation differently. But at the time, I didn't know what else to do. And do you know what? I was brought up on those who don't hear must feel. Do you understand? I'm breaking it down to my sister. Stop doing what you're doing. She's still out here. She's still going missing. She's still doing what she's doing. I'm going for her DMs. She's telling people bare fake ages. Like, when she's missing, she could all be a big man that thinks she's 16, 18. These times she's 14. So I said to her, listen, yeah, you go on your Instagram and tell them your real age. If you don't, I will, because I just had enough. In that video, when we was on the train, I'd just gone to pick her up from an apartment that she was at, yeah, telling people she was older than she was. So I told her to tell people her real age. She didn't want to, so that's what I thought was right in the time. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done it, but that's like 5 years ago. It is what it is now. Do you know what I'm saying? It's what's been done has been done. Can't take it back. Yeah. My next point, my niece had all the support she could, and what I think is absurd that the headline failed to mention, which is why I think that headline was put out there to make my sister look bad, yeah, and to cover up a lot of people's backs. And I'm not saying that my sister did or didn't do what she'd done. Like I said, I don't know. If she'd done it, then boy, I don't know, my heart's broken. Do you know what I'm saying?
So as I said, there's several things that none of the papers has mentioned or featured in the coverage of this story. So the cause of death for Asiah was down as neglect. So there is no specific description yet. So we don't know if she was starved to death or if there was some infection or other reason as to why she died as a consequence of neglect. But it echoes reminders of a story that went back to 2006 here in Birmingham and the death of Kyra Ishak, RIP. She was mistreated in Handsworth by her mother and her partner at her home and weighed just 2 stone 9 pounds, and she was 7 years old when she died. The serious case review into her death found a catalogue of errors by Birmingham City Social Services in protecting this child. And I'd hate to think that in 2020 we are still at this sort of stage where things are being overlooked. But as I said, it's too early to be able to say. We're going to follow this story and we're going to definitely keep you updated on what happens with this case. So we're definitely not going to try to speculate. We've just showed you what is available in the public domain. So rest in peace to Asiah. So I really appreciate you joining me today. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And I really appreciate you joining me. Peace. And let's hope they find justice.